Well, in terms of the Esplanade itself, so there was a recent provisional heritage declaration made over the entirety of the Esplanade by the previous government. The Supreme Court recently, I think, overturned that due to the city of Darwin essentially taking it to court. What are your thoughts on that in terms of the amenity that the Esplanade can provide to stakeholders of the CBD and Darwin more broadly? Do you think common sense prevailed there? Was it just a matter of due process not being followed, or does it sort of encapsulate all of the above? Maybe, Paul, if you could talk to that one.
Look, heritage listing the Esplanade in theory makes sense. Have you seen those chairs, the funny shaped chairs that are on there at the moment? Each of those represent an anti-aircraft gun. You see the shape of them? I only found that out about a couple of months ago.
Right.
Really weird looking chairs. Their footing goes on a funny angle.
Okay.
I know that because I had to remove some when I rebuilt the cenotaph for these guys. And I realised, why is this footing going in such a weird direction? So I only found out about it recently. If you were to... A blanket heritage listing on that entire site is very restrictive.
Yes.
How would you hold Glenty?
Yep.
How would we...
Aquascene.
Everything.
Yep.
I don't even know how do you run a gym class there. I'm a physical training instructor over at one of the gyms here, and I like to take some people out onto the Esplanade to do workouts. Would I be allowed to? I don't know. And in terms of Darwin Services Club, we want to, take an area, develop it, make it usable, and likewise anybody else. City of Darwin, they build ablution blocks. Would they be able to do that anymore? I believe that some areas, and this is on a personal note, some areas should potentially be listed.
Yes.
If they're of historic significance.
Like the oil tanks and...
Yeah.
Yep.
So points of it, not a blanket. So maybe the Heritage Council could, if they really wanted to, which I don't know why, because nobody's going to do anything with those oil tanks. No one's going to touch those chairs. No one's doing anything on that site or in the entire Esplanade to jeopardise its look right now.
Yep.
And there's a plan also, my understanding, is to put a walkway from the deck chair area all the way through to Doctor's Gully on the cliff face.
Yep.
How would you do that if it's heritage listed?
That's right. Well, I think that was one of Convat Scarliss's,
one of his babies.
Yeah, and I think it's a fantastic idea.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah, and
where's the coffee shop?
But I think, and I think that's the sort of thing that we need, is not just sort of building, massive luxury hotels there, but like development that actually ties in with the aesthetic of the Esplanade, utilises the contours and that sort of thing, and makes it just a great place for families to use.
Cairns Esplanade?
That's exactly what I'm talking about.
We could potentially be doing that. The RSL in Cairns is on the Esplanade.
Right.
They have their cenotaph.
Yep.
Sorry, their club is on the opposite side where Admiralty House is. They have their cenotaph directly opposite them. Well, we're nearly to that.
Yep.
We're just around 100 metres to the left. And they have a swimming pool. They have running tracks. They have stuff similar to us and shops the entire way along. Our difference is obviously we have hotels and apartments all the way along. But there's nothing to say that we can't do something like that. I mean, the Cairns Esplanade is a thing of beauty.
Yes.
You can go there and utilise it as families. If you turned it into a heritage listed area, it's over.
Yeah, I think heritage listed places like the oil tanks, and what you could do is you can incorporate them into a tourism walk or something, turn it into a museum.
That path could go around that.
Yeah, make it sort of an all-encompassing thing where people can. I think Con was actually talking about putting the walkway from like Lameroo Beach as well. So you could make it Lameroo Beach down to the deck chair, have all these incredible things in between.